terms of where the tank was rolling. Take us through that era of where everything was really great, but then pretty much everybody kind of started kind of going their own directions away from No Limit.
I think, when you have P, P was a leader. He was a father figure, uncle, cousin, big brother, a leader. He was more of those things than he was a boss, because he didn't, and there's no disrespect to any people that I'm about to say, you know what I'm saying? You look at, like Lil J would rap a lot, the Godfather to us, that's Godfather, you know what I'm saying? And, especially the Southern music and the independent scene, he rules with an iron fist, you know what I'm saying? You had
right.
Suge who ruled with an iron fist, you know what I'm saying? You had Puffy who ruled in his way like it was all about him, and
right.
things like that. But P was different. It was still family and team, but he was still that person with his head out there. So, when things were at their highest, and they were at their highest, and I always tell people that they like, oh, Cash Money came. Nah, they didn't take nothing from us. We were the streets. They were commercial.
I want to ask you about that too as well.
We'll get you cool. I'll let you save that one, but the thing about it is, we got so huge, and he was into so much. He was always there, right there. So if it was anybody felt any kind of way, any form of fashion, he was there, like, let's talk, blah, blah, blah. So, he was playing ball, he was doing things, We never had issues at No Limit, because the way we believed in things, if you got a problem and you feel like if you was that upset, we had a set of boxing gloves in the room. You go in there and you get it off your chest. You get it off your chest, because we believe if we family and we're a team, you're not pulling no gun on your brother and your family. If it's that bad, go in there, fight, and get it over with, and come out here and we go back to doing what we're doing. And that was something that was good, because you had a few go in there, you had some in and some not, and sometimes it just stopped things from happening. And so once he started playing ball, and he was being pulled in so many different ways, he wasn't around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As much, and because I can remember doing my album The Next Level, and, little I know that was going to be my last album. And I remember, like, him calling and saying, I'm not going to make it in to be on your album. And I was pissed. I was upset.
Okay.
And I ended up doing, like, and C Murder was mad. Because he was doing his album, Barcelona, and he was pissed off, like, to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
So, and that's when it was like, it was rough, and you start seeing it like, damn, he not here for us. You know what I'm saying? And so much was going on, and then we start having outsiders that we never let in. A lot of them were coming around, so it was becoming a separation of a thing where it was like, and it wasn't really P fault. P was just P. When you sit down and think, like, okay, we all been together all these years. You know what I'm saying? It was like they know better. I got love for them. They know that. And, so you got to really see where he wasn't there a lot, and when he would come in, he's over here and his guys, and we're over here, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. And for him, everything was okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but if it was any issues, it would be told to him by somebody that really, people that just didn't. They didn't have our dedication, our commitment, blood in, blood out, TRU to the decibels. Some of them was not like that. So he would hear things different-handed. And so, it got to a point where he wasn't around as much due to trying to still build and keep things better for us, and I understood that. And so when and then the bigger you got, you had, now it was like, okay, we want this company. So he was fighting to make sure everything was always good with priority in different situations, and renewing and doing the biggest, best deal as possible for us. You know what I mean? And so for me, I believed in family. And, you know, and once Beast by the Pound and him, they had their disagreement, but it really wasn't a disagreement. It was, you know, they just didn't get to talk. And so once him and KL kind of went their ways, which KL never really wanted to, and P is a very the only one thing I'm always say about P, that the only one flaw he got. The dude has the greatest heart in the world, but he don't know how to say, but let me holler at you, my fault. You know, and KL is quiet where but P is the type, he'll do something, not just monetarily. He'll be like, okay, man, me and Serv will be all right next month. You know, but within that month, you got to look at life where we're now grown now. And we all have kind of became our own entities where it's like, and so when him and KL kind of parted, which was a shocking, we were so dedicated to the point like, man, we ain't working without Beats by the Pound. And then P was more or less like, instead of trying to find out what was going on, he had so much going on, and I think nobody realized the pressures he had. But he's so proud, like, all right, if people feeling this way, they can go ahead about their business. You know what I'm saying? And then when you got people around him that was starting to be around him, you know what I'm saying, you know, new people around him, like, yeah, he's saying this or he's doing that and blah, 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 blah. He distanced himself because New Orleans is a serious place. And he knew, okay, if I go approach this, if I go approach this one, I'm not no bitch and he ain't no bitch. It's gonna be murder. It'll turn out bad. So the love the love he had for us and the love we had for him, you just said I'm gonna stay my distance. And for me, I got caught in the middle of him and KL. When KL left, and P was like, "Yo, that's your people." And when I'm talking to KL also had the rest of Beats by the Pound to think about. So his decision of like, man, I want to come back, man. Tell him, let's talk. And P was more or less like, no, I want to tell him, come talk to me. And it was two stubborn people that loved each other that would not come, and then the people in between made it worse. And so once they parted, you know, I was somebody, you know, they was getting newer artists and things like that. So now, for me, I'm looking at my third album, which was going to be huge. I'm coming off a #1 album. And so, you know, but for me, I could feel like with P, if I saw him, you know, hey, what up, sir? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? But then it was like certain things, he was kind of really distant. You know, I felt the distance because it was like I'm not fucking with KL no more. KL ain't fucking with me, but that's your people. And in New Orleans, that's how it goes down when things be the way they be. Like, me and you was cool, but me and your people ain't fucking around, so I don't know where you at with it. So when I'm feeling that, you know what I'm saying, and it was nothing bad towards the new producers. You know, I really liked them, you know what I'm saying, but it was more or less like, man, this my dudes. I'm not working with them. I don't know. So now I'm caught in the middle. So me being my own man, and he raised me to be my own man. So I was like, you know what? It's not family no more. This shit hurting me to watch this. I can't do this. I'm burnt out. Let me step away. So for me, it wasn't about money. You know what I'm saying? Yes, as time went on, when I learned the business more, you know, and I could tell, you know, you had people in between that didn't want some artists to make the money they should. Not P, because P was the type of person when you didn't have albums out, you know, we had houses and we had cars in our name. That's unheard of. You know, my deal with him and wasn't on paper. It was a handshake, man to man, 50-50. You keep your publishing and you get 50% of your album. You know what I'm saying? That was unheard of. People like LL, my idol, was getting 7 to 10% with Def Jam. I'm getting 50%. So, you know, and the dude, you know, it was more or less for me, man. I was partially burnt out with it, and then most of it was like it hurt to see the separation. And I felt kind of by myself once KL left, and it was like, you know what? I don't want to fall out with my dude who I feel like gave me the greatest chance in life. And then I don't want my dude over here who I came with to be mad at me here. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take my own journey this way, you know, but I'm going to take some time off. So for me, that's